Hello, welcome to the Transcendent. In this video, we'll learn HTML code formatting and organization, a guide to clean code structure. We shall explore what's occurring inside the HTML file and choices we hold for arranging our code. As we've stated already, for the wide scope, with HTML, we barely notice any gaps, blank spaces, or even enter key presses, which makes the structure quite accommodating and flexible for our needs.
Certainly.
Some particular instances do indeed exist. When we use a pre-element, a code element, or a Textarea tag, or when utilizing CSS to modify the manner in which blank space is managed. Then in such situations, when adding gaps, new lines, and tab marks, they will become prominent and clearly visible. However, in many cases, the browser tends to neglect any detail that pertains to spacing past the inclusion of a lone space, effectively treating multiple gaps as just one. We will now observe a sample. Here, we've written out a passage with additional gaps among the phrases, yet the browser will fully neglect them. A second technique that coders frequently employ to make code easier to comprehend involves recording it down, which involves adding remarks to the code to provide clarity on the actions being performed. In HTML, we add remarks to code by keying an open angle bracket, an exclamation point, then 2 dashes. All the content that follows is not acknowledged or taken into consideration by the web browser. In order to halt the remark, we simply conclude it by adding 2 dashes and then closing the bracket together. Numerous text editors are designed to automatically dim, darken, or blur any identified code segments or notes, such as the popular CodePen editor, which serves as a significant advantage and assistance. This way, we are not puzzled when a feature is not functioning. We can notice that it is just noted out. We'll now address uppercase versus lowercase letters. When HTML was just created, people often capitalized their HTML elements. Over the years, as HTML matured, the web community shifted its view, thinking it is far superior to compose all elements using lowercase letters. However, the reality is, this does not truly matter. We uncover an immense number of older websites accessible online, all written utilizing all capitalized HTML, while simultaneously discovering billions of current websites that rigorously avoid utilizing capitalized HTML throughout their design and construction. Therefore, the browsers will fully accommodate whichever method that we use. With that said, most everyone now writes everything in lowercase letters. It is simply or merely the established practice that is currently followed today. The use of all caps can, indeed, have a considerable and significant impact on our eyesight and can cause strain to our eyes over time. We may have observed that a few of the elements are quite brief, looking more like small snippets of information rather than comprehensive entities like P for a paragraph, B for bold text, or I for italic. In contrast, others can be much longer, especially newer ones like article or video. These longer tags are complete words in English. For instance, the tag is video, not simply V or vid. Similarly, we write section, not
SSC.
footer, not foot, and block quote, not just BQ. So, what could be the reason behind this difference? And why is there a difference? So, HTML was primarily conceived and introduced during the late 1980s and the early 1990s, this period of time, when tech experts were focused on saving every last bit and byte. Computer machines had just 1 MB of RAM and a mere 20 megabytes of disk space, so every letter added to the overall file size. As HTML evolved, memory capabilities within systems improved significantly. It became increasingly less crucial to save occasional letters here and there. And it is notably more crucial to ensure that the code is straightforward and easily understandable. So these newer contemporary elements make full usage of words. This is immensely easier for individuals, particularly for those who possess remarkable abilities to communicate effectively in the English language. A final point to address regarding the way HTML is written. Should we use a closing tag or not? We've reviewed quite a few amount of time to examine and assess a variety of elements already. Almost all of them arrive at the destination in pairs, accompanied by an opening and a closing tag. The modern HTML elements consistently incorporate both an opening and a closing tag, like the video element, which we will discuss later on. At times, we occasionally place no elements between the initial start and the concluding end, tagging. But for a few of the everlasting elements, there is in no way an identifiable sheltered dome or discernible niche in any respect, such as image, which we will explore soon. These elements were created in the mid-90s. At that time, the creators thought, wouldn't it be simpler and more efficient to leave out the closing tag if it isn't necessary? And why add one? Later, the mindset changed, and the common practice shifted to placing a slash mark at the end of any element that did not have a matching and closing tag. The concept is that the element can both open and close all at once. For a long time, everyone insisted that we must use the slash. However, towards around the year 2010, people began to take a more laid-back attitude towards this rule. Frankly, at this time, we are uncertain if a majority of developers actually utilize a closing slash. By now, the fact that it actually doesn't make a significant difference is widely recognized. Web browsers are designed to accommodate a wide range of options for organizing and presenting our code. It is entirely at our discretion and with our team's guidance as to how we would like to proceed in making decisions and executing the plan. You can find all the necessary files and exercises to practice with this video in the attached files.